Hey guys, Justin Bryan here from selfmadesuccess.com, and I'm going to conclude my series of 75 Twitter marketing tips and tricks to help you get more engagement, help you get more blog traffic, and get you more sales through your Twitter profile. Okay, I've been through the first 50 tactics that you can use already, and they're divided up into 2 videos on my YouTube channel. If you haven't seen them already, I recommend you look those up. And I'm going to conclude it now and start with 51, okay, which is to use your autoresponder to get more followers. Okay, I recommend you do this in your welcoming email series. Just ask them to follow you on Twitter, and that's just another place where they'll be able to see your content. The more they see you, the more chances they will have to buy from you, the more chances they will have to be part of your promotions. Alright? Number 52, use your name or brand name in your Twitter handle. Okay? Your Twitter handle, sometimes you have to get kind of creative with that because it might be taken by someone else, but as you can see, I actually put my name in my Twitter handle, which is different from your Twitter name or whatever it's actually called. This is like my name that you call yourself on Twitter. This is your Twitter handle right here, the one below that. It's at whatever it is. And try your best to get your brand name and your keywords in that Twitter handle to make it easier for people to find your brand. Next, I would recommend that you use Twitter directories to promote your profile. You always want to promote your profile as much as possible. You can use these to kind of classify your profile in certain categories. So if you talk a lot about marketing and entrepreneurship, you can get classified in that category, and people can look for Twitter profiles and maybe find yours there. A few places you can do this are WeFollow, Twitter Counter, or Twello. WeFollow, for one, is you can get an app on iTunes where you can grow your followers and things like that using WeFollow. And of course the other ones are Twitter Counter and Twello. 54, import and follow your email contacts. To do that, you just go to your settings. You go up here, you click on your profile picture, you go to settings, and then add friends on the left side. It'll be on the left side here. You add friends and go to import Gmail contacts or Yahoo contacts. And if you want, you can actually connect with your subscribers by downloading their emails into a file from GetResponse, Infusionsoft, whatever you're using, and import those as your new contacts in your Gmail account or whatever you have, and then go find those contacts through Twitter. So it's, it takes you a few steps to do that, but it can be a cool little trick to get a lot more Twitter followers and be connected with these people if they haven't already followed you on Twitter. Another thing you can do, number 55, is create separate accounts for separate categories. I think this is a really good way to, when your website gets bigger, when your brand gets bigger, like Entrepreneur, for instance, has done this. As you can see, they have women entrepreneur, young entrepreneur, regular entrepreneur. They have a lot of different versions and a lot of followers on each one, but if people might want to subscribe on only one part of your website, let's say your website covers a lot of different things, maybe you have a news part of your site, maybe you have a tutorial part of your site, maybe you have a reviews part of your site. You can make a separate Twitter account for each one. That way people can specifically follow just one part of your site if they don't care about the entire thing. So that way you get more followers total, and you can have very specific offers going to each one. 56, make yourself seem like an expert or an authority figure in your tweets. Don't ever say anything that looks like something an amateur would say. Don't position yourself as, a rookie. Don't make it look like you don't know what you're doing. And, that's not a marketing tactic, that's more of a branding strategy, but, you'll get a lot more followers that actually trust you and your expertise if you look like you know what you're doing. Number 57, don't lie or do anything shady on Twitter. Obviously, having good morals on Twitter can really help your brand. Your brand is just as important as the marketing strategies you use. Good branding is good marketing, and you can tear everything down in 5 minutes, but it takes years to build up a really good, powerful brand. So don't screw it up, and think twice before you tweet. A lot of people tweet some stupid stuff. I don't really have any examples with me right now, but and then they end up trying to go back and delete them. You see like celebrities and big brands do this all the time, and it gets people fired. It gets brands a big hit and their credibility and things like that. Even if you delete it, everybody's already seen it, so it won't do you any good. 58. Keep your tweets fairly short. You don't Just because there's a character limit doesn't mean you need to hit that limit every single time. And actually, the short ones tend to get better click-through rates, according to Sprout Social. Okay, so keep them short and sweet. I also recommend using link shorteners if that helps. 59. Show your personality, but don't offend people. People like to know that you're actually human and not just some robotic brand that doesn't, have any fun or doesn't, share stories or anything like people actually do. People connect with people, not brands so much. They really connect with the people behind the brands, or things that you do behind the scenes. They love seeing things like that. Just show them what you're up to. Make a few funny comments every once in a while, but don't bring anything offensive into it, like race and religion and politics or anything like that. 60. You can block people to remove them from your Twitter stream. This can be good just to kind of clean up who you're connected with. You don't want to be connected with some real shady people that might prevent others from wanting to connect with you. They might look over your profile before they decide to look at you and whether or not to connect with you. But you can actually go to that person's profile, go to their settings, and just click the block button. As you can see here in this image, I show you what it looks like. 61. Never use auto direct messages. I actually get quite a bit of these when I connect with people on Twitter, but they just look completely robotic. Like I said, you want to look human. You want to look like you're actually using Twitter instead of just using it for marketing and that's it. You want to at least try to be personal with people a little bit. And if you just do all these robotic things and have these direct messages as soon as somebody follows you, it really turns people off, especially if it has a link to their website or something. It just says, oh, I don't care about you, all I care about is my traffic or something. So don't do that. Just stay away from them. A lot of people actually hate those. 62. Don't send links with shoutouts and tweets because it looks very spammy. If you're going to shout people out, just have a conversation with them, like you're messaging them or like you're talking to them. Don't try to send them places and do a bunch of stuff like that, because people don't want that stuff and they won't want to be connected to you if you're going to do things like that. 63. Don't use more than 1 to 3 hashtags in tweets. Really, probably 2 would be the sweet spot in there. 3 is kind of pushing it. More than 3 is really spammy looking. You don't want to do anything that looks like it's spam. Plus, it's going to make you look like a rookie that doesn't know what you're doing, and they're not going to take you very seriously if you do stuff like that. Spread out your tweets instead of posting all at once. Obviously, you want to post throughout the day. Different people are going to be on Twitter at different times, and just because there's a more popular time of the day, maybe you've seen some analytics or something, or a study on a blog post that says, oh, you should post between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. and that's the prime time to post. That doesn't mean you should do all your posts in that time frame. In fact, a lot of times when you post, at odd times, more people will see your tweets because there's less competition. Even though there's less people on Twitter, it doesn't matter if more people, a higher percentage of the people that are on Twitter see it. It can actually benefit you more. So spread your tweets out throughout the day. Don't just post all at once during a certain time period. Follow about 20 people a day that are engaged and interested in your industry. If you want to keep growing your list, if you're not really getting a lot of natural followers yet, I recommend you do that just because quite a few people follow you back on Twitter, and especially if you look like someone that might be kind of like them. So you can follow them like that. 20 people a day doesn't look very spammy. It doesn't. It's not going to get you a lot of weird connections. So you can actually handpick your connections better by just doing 20 and kind of doing a research on who might be a good connection. 66. Optimize headlines on Twitter for clicks. Certain things on Twitter get better clicks than others. You might notice that some of them that get ridiculous amounts of shares and things like that are usually pretty popular. They're usually pretty good with as far as using good copy in them. They usually have good headlines or good picture that really shows why you should share it, or really gets your attention, things like that. Definitely take advantage of that. Use compelling content to get people's attention. Use a headline that people can't hardly stand, but to click and see what happens. Obviously, that's how you want to do your blog posts. That's also how you want to do your tweets. Another thing you want to do, 67, is tweet while keeping relevant and timely holidays, events, things like that in mind. If it's National Dog Day or Women's Equality Day, post something related to that. You can use that hashtag, get a big boost in traffic, big boost in followers from keeping that in mind. Okay, Russell Wilson was getting talked about a lot that day. Sunset, Second City, Charleston. There's a lot of different things that are in the trending topics that you can use to your advantage. 68. Use specific landing pages for specific Twitter ads. Digital Marketer does a really good job of this. Actually, you can learn a lot from them and their advertising. They use very specific offers for very specific things, and what they do on Twitter is very specific to their ads. So you might go to Digital Marketer on here, and you can look at their stuff and notice that, you know, their images and things are very specific to their offers. So you might get some ideas there by following them and just looking them up. Another thing is, don't forget to skip weekends. A lot of people, you know, they work during the week and they completely skip weekends, but weekends can actually be when you get your biggest engagement on Twitter. Saturday and Sunday get the most engagement actually of any days of the week by a pretty significant margin. I actually have this study on that if you go to the blog post in this link. But when people are off work and school, a lot of them spend time on social media, so you want to take advantage of that when you can. 70, share quotes here, and well, people just really love quotes. You'll see a lot of quotes on Twitter. I could probably find some right here actually, just browsing, and see if I can find a few. As far as quotes go, I'm not really seeing a lot of quotes here right now, but usually you go through your feed, you'll find some really good quotes, especially from top business people. I know he puts a lot of quotes out. Um, People like Neil Patel do. Um, People with very successful Twitter accounts tend to put out quite a few quotes. So there's kind of a correlation there, especially if they're kind of business-oriented brands. Another thing you can do is tweet news about your industry. The latest news is always a big deal on Twitter. That's why we have trending topics that are so popular all the time. Like right now, we have Miranda sings on Netflix. This is latest news. Chip Kelly becomes the head coach of the 49ers. That's news. People break a lot of news on Twitter, and you really need to take advantage of that if you want to be a timely account and you want to keep getting big boosts in followers and engagement. I definitely recommend you look up the latest news and you post it on Twitter as soon as you find out about it. 72. Analyze competition using Twitamy. Twitamy helps you break down your competition, and you gets you detailed analytics about clicks, follower growth, followers, whether they're falling back or not, different hashtags that are working, which ones aren't, things like that. If you want to take your analytics to a new level and figure out what your competition is doing on Twitter, use Twitamy right there. 73. Make sure your profile is completely filled out. You might notice that I actually have quite a few things on my profile. I have a header background that promotes my website. I have a picture, my name, my Twitter handle is all very relevant to everything. You can click here and see a lot of things on here, what's going on, but I actually have a description of some things that I'm interested in. I have my link, I have kind of where I'm from, things like that, but you need to go ahead and completely fill out your Twitter just to make sure that you don't leave any stone unturned to help you get more followers and to help them kind of understand what you're all about. Another thing is 74, to add Twitter to YouTube descriptions. You might notice that the biggest YouTubers that actually make a living making millions of dollars on YouTube tend to post their social media accounts and links to them directly on their video descriptions so that you can find them in other places. Twitter and Facebook, for instance, PewDiePie likes to use, and that's one of the most popular, highest paid YouTubers on the internet, so you might want to take into account his success and what he does. Last but not least, 75, use Twitter and author profiles for guest posting. So if you're guest posting on, say, entrepreneur.com or other places like that, Business Insider, Search Engine Land, I'm just mentioning a few off the top of my head, but if you're guest posting anywhere related to your niche, you want to include places for them to find you if they like your articles, and your Twitter is one of the best places to do that. All you have to do is put your Twitter handle, and if you do that, you don't even have to have a link to it because it's just at your Twitter handle, and put that in your guest post description. And a lot of sites that you write for will actually let you link directly to that, if not your website too. So that's a great way for new people to find you if you're writing for other websites. Alright, so that's my 75 Twitter marketing tips, tricks, tactics, strategies, whatever you want to call it. I hope you got some value from it. I hope you learned a little bit from it, and I hope it helps you get better Twitter results. Other than that, that's really it for this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please like it, subscribe. I'll have a lot more great videos coming your way on Twitter strategies and social media marketing and other things that will help you grow a better business. Don't forget to leave a comment if you want to add some other Twitter strategies that I haven't mentioned in this series that you like to point out, or just let us know what you thought about the video or some of your experiences with Twitter marketing. Don't forget to visit us at selfmadesuccess.com, where we'll have more in-depth training some resources for you to use, and just you can even contact me there if you want to ask me a question or just get some one-on-one training. Other than that, that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed the series, and I'll see you in the next video. Hope you have a great day.